always great being back in Indy and being at the same hotel we were in there for the bubble. So that was a great feeling. It's also great knowing this game does not count, and both of us were able to learn a lot and hopefully help each other for the rest of the year. Want to thank the fans that showed up, and that helps both of us prepare for the season. And we know from playing against Coach DeVries' team last year, he does a great job defensively with their intensity and toughness, and obviously they shoot the three ball a lot better than they did last year at West Virginia. And his free throw coach deserves a raise. But it was great for us. We learned a lot today. It was a great experience, and just thank everyone for their hospitality.
Questions?
Yeah, Coach Jeff Reddick on Speaks.com. I'm just curious, like you said, you coached against DeVries before. Indiana fans are kind of learning about him.
Yeah.
When you scouted his teams, what stood out to you?
Well, first, they're not as athletic as they were at West Virginia, but they have the same defensive toughness. I mean, we had 16 turnovers. Both of us run similar 5-out offenses, so they did a lot better job being tougher on forcing us into gaps and turning it over. And at West Virginia, I know when the sun went out, they really put their emphasis last year on that part, and he gave them a chance to, should have been in the tournament last year, but that part is consistent. And then his son, I mean, his son's, even though I know Wilkerson had 26, I mean, Tucker attracts so much attention, and when he's on the court, it makes it easier for everybody else.
Scott, your team was in control for a lot of the first half, and then maybe late first half, early second half, a switch seemed to flip for Indiana. What do you feel like changed?
Well, we saw a couple fans leaving, and we thought they were going to the Colts game, so we said, let's make this interesting to keep. That was bad strategy. They came out, they played a lot tougher than us. We turned it over way too much in the first 12 minutes, and we let our offense dictate our defense. And the last 8 minutes, we really did a good job defending. But credit them, they came out in the second half. At one point, I think we were 4 for 18, and that's Coach DeVries' coach team. That's what you get sometimes because they do a great job.
Any more questions?
How important, you can't draw these exhibitions up, but when you get end game situation work like this against another opponent as opposed to just yourselves, how important for that as a coach to kind of get a look at that early before you have to go into the season?
Well, both of us, it's the first time we didn't return any points, rebounds, assists, turnovers. I don't think they did either. Sometimes games are different than practice, and seeing players know players, and seeing who they feel comfortable with and how they step up and how they react, and at the same time who can make big free throws, who can make big plays, who can make the right plays. And it's great because for the players it's the first time, and every coach is a little different on what they want, so they get a chance to adjust and learn from that. But I thought asked Cam on the way in, I said, what happened second half? He said they just came out a lot more aggressive than us, and they did a great job putting us on our heels, getting that lead, and then that's how you close games, going 20 for 21 from the free throw line.
Scott, you've got a relatively new team, new roster. What's the challenge as a coach in the current era of college basketball of building a team when you're trying to integrate so many new pieces?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, offensively and defensively, you try to keep things simpler, and so people can pick things up quicker. And so I think most of us have done that. You're not as many layers on layers like Spanish. I'll equate it to Spanish 1 versus Spanish 4 teaching. You do a lot of basics. So at the end of the day, both of us are kind of in that same mold. And then as I know they got some guys banged up, and as both of us get used to being in competition, now we can start to add some layers and some things based on what we've seen up to this point. But hey, coaches, players will tell you that when the lights come on, things are just a little different. Sometimes in practice, someone plays a little different than they do in the games, and you got to get to the games to figure that out.
Thank you.
I'll let you